of our Specialized Technical Committee meeting, which started here in Windhoek on the 27th of July 2026. We are all agreed that it has been a productive meeting, and you again need to give yourselves a round hand of applause for all the contributions that you made to this important meeting. As we come to the closing session, there will be only a few remarks. The Commissioner has already delivered her closing remarks because she had to leave early for the airport. The next speaker is Dr. Nyaradzai Gumbosvanda, UN Assistant Secretary General and UN Women Deputy Executive Director, to deliver her closing remarks. Please welcome her to the podium with a thunderous round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, moderator, for having me. Let me start by recognizing the esteemed delegates, our ministers from the African Union member states here present. I recognize Dr. Emma Kantena, Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare of the Republic of Namibia, Honorable Philemon Wise Emmanuel, Minister of Justice and Labor Relations of the Republic of Namibia, Her Excellency Ambassador Ama Amwa, African Union Commissioner for Health, Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development, Jenny Messes, I know that she had to leave early, esteemed delegates, honorable representatives from the economic commissions, distinguished representatives of the workers and employers organizations, colleagues from the United Nations. I want to recognize our own resident coordinator who has been with us, Ms. Hopolang Pororo, and indeed to recognize my superior who has also been with us, the ILO Director General, development partners, colleagues, the young people, and members of the Fourth Estate, the media. It is such an honor to take the floor and to thank you. To thank you for the generous invitation for UN Women and for myself, the opportunity you accorded us to be part of the STC and to be part of the closing session on the 6th ordinary session of the Specialized Technical Committee on Social Development, Labor, and Employment. First and foremost, congratulations to the government of Namibia, to the Republic of Namibia, under the leadership of Her Excellency, Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, President of the Republic, for hosting us and for the warmth of this nation. It feels good to also just say Her Excellency. It's always special. It's always special. For us, she is our first elected female president in the Southern Africa Development Community region. And she is our first elected president, our second elected president in Africa. We recognize and we appreciate. Again, congratulations on this very special day. This is Pan-African Women's Day. Congratulations, Africa. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for Africa recognizing that the African women were part of the struggle of independence, of decolonization of this continent, and for you to accord a special day that recognizes the role and place of women in the African society, and indeed for that conference that you did of a specialized agency status to power. Thank you for Africa for that recognition. Namibia, this country, the land of the brave, holds a special place in the history of advancing the status of women, not only in this country, not only in Africa, but globally. It was the May 2000 Windhoek Declaration on mainstreaming gender perspective in multidimensional peace support operations, which paved the way 5 months later for the adoption of the United Nations Resolution 1325, which defined the new thinking around women, peace, and security for the world, and not just for Namibia. Congratulations and thank you, because that was social protection in a context of insecurity and conflict. Thank you very much. We also recognize and we appreciate that leadership of the land of the brave, that Africa offered leadership for that Beijing conference. Before the world went to Beijing with the Nairobi forward-looking strategies, Kenya hosted. When we went to Beijing, our own Mama Gertrude Mongela of Tanzania was the Secretary General of the conference. Namibia was the rapporteur of the conference. Africa, you led the world. Africa, you continue to lead the world. Again, congratulations. So being here these last few days, I feel the depth of the leadership that the continent is providing. I also want to congratulate the African Union and member states on the adoption of the Convention on Ending Violence Against Women and Girls. The 55 heads of states adopted the convention, a decision to say we cannot have freedom, independence, if our own families continue to live without safety. It was an expression of the ethos of social protection by an institution, and what is left today, and which as the UN we continue to support, to stand with you, to work with you, is really signing the convention, ratifying the convention, implementation of the convention, so that that decision of 2025 offers the frame within which we can speak about and we can support those measures so important to protection within our communities. In my own country, Zimbabwe, before I was appointed, I was running a shelter. So I understand that the issues of violence against women are a social protection human rights issue. I understand the work that we have to do with the ministries of social development and the ministries that are there for the welfare of the people. Thank you. You deal with difficult issues every day. So we continue to urge you, as I said, for the signature and for the ratification. And I want to recognize Commissioner Janet Sala. I know she's working very hard, the Banjul Commission, the Women Gender Directorate, thank you, and the Commission indeed. Let me be personal. 12 years ago, at the 2014 STC in Addis Ababa, I stood before you. I was much younger. I had no disability, but I was still a passionate African woman. You appointed me to be your first African Union Goodwill Ambassador on ending child marriage. I stood before you, I only said 2 words. I just said, I accept and I'll do my best. I had no speech. because my mother did not choose my father. At times I ask, am I a product of love or just a product of biology? So when I said I accept, I served with the best of my heart, with the champion on ending child marriage, Zambia, with the champions on gender equality, with the champions and the champions. So today I give my greatest respect. I was sitting there with joy in my heart when you were adopting your report, and I was seeing the progress that Africa is making. Congratulations, Africa. Congratulations, congratulations. We congratulate you. As we stand in the United Nations, we see many countries on the continent doing the resolutions in the Human Rights Council, in the UN General Assembly. And the ink is not yet dry. Only this month, Sierra Leone led a United Nations General Assembly declaring the 27th of November as the International Year to End Child Marriage. It just didn't happen. It happened because you made a decision as an STC. You lifted your leadership, not just to protect African children, but to protect the children of the world. Thank you so much, Africa. I stand here now as an Assistant Secretary General in the United Nations. That girl who grew up during the war, who did not want to drop out of school, but where the war dropped me out of school. And we needed the social system to pick up us, the children, to go back to school. So when we were talking about the social protection instruments for children in difficult circumstances, I saw myself and how we were queuing as an orphan to sign for my mother to be able to get a little bit of the support with the school fees. The work you do enabled me to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Africa. I also want to appreciate the focus that you have provided on disability. Today, I stand tall. When you ask me to come, even if we know in the disability movement, we always ask for access. I said there are only 3 steps. I have the whole of Africa to lift me up if I fall, because the ministerial declaration has talked about disability, 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 disability. So I felt the continent is holding me to climb these 3 steps. And I said, how is the continent helping those who are walking with no walking stick, who are walking on all fours, who cannot hear, who cannot see, whose disability might not be visible? So through Toko Rujidzo, I want to thank humanity for caring. But the greatest humanity and the gift you have given to persons with disability today around the social protection. I was sitting there and listening to your decision around the appointment of a presidential champion. For us to just know we have a presidential champion for social protection and for disability means the world. Congratulations. We are looking forward to the Assembly endorsing your decision. As UN Women, we've been working with you. We've been working with you in the last 2 days and always and as before. And therefore, I want to conclude with some key messages that I've heard, which I'm carrying with me to my Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, which I will make to the incoming Secretary General and echo your words in the work that we do, but which I also leave with our UN country team here. That first, social protection is a priority for Africa. And instruments, tools, policies, mechanisms are being put in place. We need to resource Africa's effort and ensure that that social protection approach is universal, is women-centered, it's rights-based, and is gender-responsive. Second, that we continue to extend protection to women in the informal and precarious work, those who may not be able to open a bank account, those who may be working every day, because we know every woman is a working woman because we provide care work. So we look forward to really the evolution of the protection related instruments that we have. Thirdly, is to combine income security with services and with pathways for autonomy. When I was queuing for social protection support, in my heart, I wanted to one day not always be queuing, but to have autonomy of income, of personhood, of survival. That is what you have decided, to say the issues around social protection are not just a charity issue, they are an investment to the human capability of Africa. Thank you for that perspective. And indeed, fourthly, is to continue to build that the agenda you have and the issues you have provided is clear that we need to build on responding to shocks and crisis that happens. Climate shocks, conflict, displacement, public health emergencies, food price volatility, the Straits of Hormuz are affecting even Africa. ECA has the data. So shocks which are unexpected and which may not be derived from the continent. We need a preparedness of resilience, a preparedness of policy that recognizes the global character of some of the shocks that we are facing. Fifthly, I carry with me a very clear message that financing social protection is not an expenditure. It's a public investment. Those are your own words that I'm echoing back to you. I'm echoing back and carrying with me the message that you said, and NEPAD also stressed, Africa is endowed. That's why there is a new scramble for Africa. Everybody wants to do business with Africa. It's because Africa, this Africa, my Africa, we need to really continue to leverage for Africa's resources in agriculture, in mining, in tourism, in arts and craft, the rest, to resource the protection of its people, to be at the heart of the domestic financing. Sixthly, you emphasized over and over the issue of data, the issue of delivery with accountability, data that is sex disaggregated, data that is age disaggregated, data that is disability disaggregated, data that enables us to know what is happening in Morogoro and what is happening in Kabale and what is happening in other places of the continent. So that it's not just data, which is the collective disaggregated data, but it's data which tells the story of our own communities and center the issue of care. That is my last comment, care. When we wake up every day, Mama wakes up early than everybody else. She looks for water for her to be hygienic for the family. Then she looks for the water to take care of the rest. Then she sends those to school, she sends this one to work. Then she herself might have to get a djembe to go to work or get a handbag and run because she's late. Care at household level is the essence of the family. And that's where the care agenda, which you have defined, is very important. And I want to congratulate you for including that very concrete issue in the ministerial declaration. I close with an invitation. I invite Africa to continue with the leadership you've provided for the world. The UN is going through major reforms. May the story and the position of Africa shape those reforms. Indeed, I dream of a day where, as a UN staff, I can wake up and say, good morning, Madam Secretary General of the United Nations. Just as I have woken up in the last few days and feeling the warmth of saying good morning, Madam President, in this country. For 8 years, we are yet, you as the member states, you are yet to enable us to say good morning, Madam Secretary General. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Namibia. Thank you, my people. Congratulations, and thank you very much.
Wow. I do not even have to tell you to give another round of applause. Mama Gumbovanda, I will say thank you, but I'll not say thank you in English. Tanditi, tangimem. Thank you very much for that poignant message. Very clear, crystal clear, very powerful. We need to resource the efforts of Africa. I think it's a take-home message that as much as you had 6 of them, the emphasis on resources, the efforts of Africa says it all. The care and the data, I think those are tools in our toolkit that are going to enable us to implement the decisions taken here. Give her, please, another thunderous round of applause. We are coming to the end of our program. We only have 2 activities, maybe 3, if you add the national anthem. So the Honorable Minister, who was chairing our session, will come and wrap up. And while your program indicates that there will be a vote of thanks, the Honorable Minister will give that in one envelope, if it pleases you, Prime Minister. So please help me welcome him and give him a round of applause for chairing so effectively. Please, yours is the podium.
I thought I was invited to come get feedback from the congregation or the assembly as to how I have fared in chairing the session. So you would sympathize with me that I did not get an opportunity to look at the program at the end of it, though, to have realized that I'm enlisted as one of the last speakers. And it's against that background that I appear before you without any note prepared beforehand. But within that framework, I want to seek refuge under the protocol framework that have dominated our meeting since the beginning. But for political and diplomatic correctness, I want to acknowledge Commissioner Chum Amoa in her absentia. And I want to acknowledge Dr. Gubo Vanda. There's the UN Assistant Secretary General and UN Women Deputy Executive Director for gracing this occasion and for the remark that you have just delivered. I want to acknowledge the Commissioner of Women Affairs in our midst. I don't see where she's seated, but I know I've seen her in the course of yesterday. The Director of ILO, who has been here with us in the course of yesterday. And of course, acknowledge all of you, honorable ministers, in your respective portfolio. And of course, acknowledge my counterpart with whom I have hosted, or we hosted this event. And as I have indicated yesterday, it's the Minister of Gender who has sat in throughout since yesterday, Dr. Kantema, as well as the Minister of Health, Dr. Esperanza Ruvindao, represented by her deputy, Honorable Susanna Njaleka, as well as the Minister of Education, Dr. Sanet Steenkamp, who couldn't be here with us owing to other equal important assignments. And of course, my own deputy, Honorable Brands, the Deputy Minister of Justice and Labor Relations. And then, of course, ED of the ministry, the fourth arm of the state, as we are consistently reminded by the land, the media, the organizing committee, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We have come to the moment of articulating the single truth, a truth that is constructed on a number of pillars. The first pillar that I want to single out of that single truth is that we were here for 2 consecutive days. The second one is that we were here for the ministers' meeting on labor, employment, and social development. The third block upon which that single truth is built is one that is compelling that indeed this meeting was a success and it was productive. I want you to give yourself a big round of applause. The fourth pillar upon which that truth is constructed is one, that we have made progressive and forward-looking decision from this meeting. For onward movement. And therefore, I want to congratulate you. Please give yourself another big round of applause. The fifth pillar upon which that single truth is built is that we've come to an end of that meeting. Now, because we have all had the account of the truth, I want to take this special occasion to thank or to graciously and wholeheartedly express my sincere gratitude to all of you, individually and collectively, for thoughtful deliberation, for active participations and engagement, and for rendering your labor intensively, aiming at shaping policies and programs to improve the livelihood of our people and of our respective citizens. Guided by the theme of the meeting, seeking to invest, to strengthen, and to expand social protection system, while cognizant of the fact that those are the critical enablers of inclusion, or for inclusion rather, resilience, and social justice. We have therefore undeniably reaffirmed our shared conviction that social protection is not a privilege, but it is a foundation for dignity, for stability, and for inclusive development across the continent. What a record. Please give yourself another big round of applause. Now, as we prepare to return to our sending states, as we prepare to retreat to our workstation, I want to make a special call that we all gear ourselves to move beyond the dialogue toward decisive and practical actions. I want to urge, as my ambassador from from Zimbabwe, looks at me eagerly to hear what I say next. I want to urge all member states and all developmental partners that are in this room to strengthen the implementation of the recommendations agreed, to intensify collaborations between member states, and to ensure accountability in delivery. What our deliberation for the past 2 days have proven is that it's possible. And I have said it yesterday. On the margin of delivering the keynote address by Her Excellency, the President of the Republic of Namibia, is that it's possible to get an integrated Africa. It's possible to get a prosperous Africa. It's possible to get a peaceful Africa. When we translate those recommendations and decisions that we take at all our multilateral platforms, such as this one, into strengthened systems. When we translate those decisions into increased investment, and when we translate those decisions into expanded social coverage that reaches every vulnerable members of our society. Let's therefore, colleagues, go and make sure that we turn the outcome of this meeting into tangible outcome. Let's go and place reliance on the recommendations that we have made here in our endeavor to build a more inclusive, resilient, and just Africa for all her people. And in fact, as I then conclude, or possibly before I move to the second segment of thanking, because it was combined, I've done so, it's okay. I then want to specifically, once again, convey the best wishes by our President, Her Excellency, the President, Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah. I checked in again with her this morning, for as you know, we are here representing her. And she reiterated that we should bid farewell to you in good spirit and tell you that Namibia is your second home. She wishes you well on your way back home and hope that for those of you that will be returning here in December for ILO Africa Regional Meeting, you will again find it convenient to come back. Those were the words of the President. Please, let's thank the President for that. Now, we are deeply honored by your choice to come to Namibia. And I have said this, because it has been expressed by our President, and through her voice, the voice of the Namibian people finds refuge. We know you had came with expectation. It may be so that some of those expectations have been met and some have not been met. I want now to use this opportunity on behalf of the President, my fellow ministers with whom I am co-hosting the event, and indeed on behalf of the Namibian people, that where some of your expectations may have not been met, please, let's find comfort from the fact that we are a developing nation. You know, just about 36 years old, still learning, still strengthening, and still capacitating itself. And above all, the faces that represent the state are human beings. Where we have erred, where we have not met your expectation optimally, please find it in your heart to forgive us, for we are just human. Having said that, I then thank all of you. I thank the sponsors or the entities that has actually contributed to the materialization of this event. I'm told Social Security is one. Various OMAs have contributed by availing, be it human capital or financial resources, as well as vehicles, in order to be able to provide the service, to our distinguished guests. I want to thank all of you, ED and your team that were running to make sure that all the logistics are in place before the arrival and during the meeting. I'm equally indebted to you, or we are indebted to you as a country. The Secretariat from AU, you have done a remarkable job, and we want to thank you sincerely. Media, you are our friends of all weathers. We thank you for always making sure that you are there to disseminate our information, accurately and responsibly. We thank you. Interpreters, you have done equally an incredible job by assisting or making sure that our communication was seamless. Having said that, may you go well. May, the Almighty, be before you and step wherever you are going to step us from here. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you very much, Great Minister. Always ready for giving us that closing remarks for our conference and a vote of thanks for our delegates. Dr. Sabelo, you wanted to make an announcement. I'll stand right by you here.
Thank you, Iti. The announcement, honorable ministers, distinguished delegates, is about the departures. My colleagues from logistics are requesting all the delegates to indicate their time for departures. We've gone digital, so we are going to project. As you can see, we are projecting the QR code. The distinguished delegates are requested to scan and use this QR code to indicate the hotel, 1, 2, the time for departure. The usual rule is that you indicate the time of departure is 3 hours. Rather 4 hours this time around. 4 hours, that's the time you put as you indicate your departure time. Thank you. From the hotel.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mbogazi. Yeah, so please, has everybody scanned? Are you managing? Or is there a difficulty? Oh, it's no longer there. Okay. It's there? Okay, can you project it here as well, please? Just so that we know everybody has scanned. Okay, so we have all scanned. We are good to go. Are we good to go? Okay, I want to believe that we have all acquired the information. It's the beauty of technology and artificial intelligence. So, with that, Honorable Ministers, Your Excellencies, all delegates, I wish to invite you all to rise. If there are those that are failing to scan, please take a screenshot of that and call those numbers. They are on WhatsApp. You'll be able to reach them from your hotel via Wi-Fi. So please let us rise for the AU and National Anthem of Namibia. AU anthem first. You start with the AU anthem, please, and close it a bit. Bon voyage, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you.